What is your name, please?
My name is Rosemary Coder.
My name is Rosemary Coder.
My name is Rosemary Coder.
Only one of these young ladies is the real Rosemary Coder. The other two are imposters and will try to fool this panel. Tom Poston, Peggy Cass, one of the stars of the Broadway hit Never Too Late, Orson Bean, and Kitty Carlisle. On to Tell the Truth with your host, Bud Collier.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and welcome once again to Tell the Truth. Brought to you this week by Salem Cigarettes. Good evening, panel.
Good evening, Bud.
How's everybody tonight? Fine? And raring to go. Some cute youngsters there. Let's get right to it, shall we? You might just as well. So please open up your envelope, take out that first affidavit card, and follow along with me, if you will, please. I, Rosemary Coder, live on a farm. On our farm, we have cows, sheep, donkeys, goats, pigs, and chickens. We also grow vegetables. My special jobs are to take care of the baby lamb, pick vegetables, and help my father collect eggs. Our farm has only 4.5 acres, but it is very unusual because we have a couple of 100,000 visitors every year. The reason for this is that our farm is located in a big zoo right inside New York City. If you would like to come visit us, here is our address. Farm in the Zoo, Bronx Park, the Bronx, New York City, New York. Signed, Rosemary Coder. So, panel, we have 3 lovely young ladies, all claiming to be Rosemary Coder. I guess you could call her New York City farmer's daughter. We'll start this first questioning with Peggy Cass. Peggy?
Thank you. Rosemary, number 1, do you belong to the 4-H club?
No, I don't.
Thank you. Rosemary, number 3, how old is your baby lamb?
3 weeks old.
Rosemary, number 2, who's the director of the Bronx Zoo?
I don't know.
Rosemary, number 1, who is Fairfield Osborne?
I don't know.
Number 3, do you know?
No.
Let me see. Number 2, what does your daddy do with those eggs?
Sometimes we eat them.
3.
Orson Bean.
Rosemary, number 1, can a small chicken lay a big egg? By that I mean... does the size of the egg depend on the size of the chicken?
No.
It doesn't? So a small chicken could lay a big egg?
Well, not a small chicken could really lay.
I don't mean an enormous egg. Like
It
I'm
depends on the
a,
breed of the chicken.
What?
It depends on the breed of the chicken.
Ah, good. Rosemary, ooh, gee.
Kitty.
Well, I hope they're all Rosemary Coder. They're adorable. Rosemary, number 2, what vegetables grow in the ground?
Lettuce, carrots,
Thank you.
cabbage.
Number 3, can you tell me how you happened to get to be a farm lady in New York City?
Yes, my father used to work in the Bronx Zoo at the hospital there.
Number 1, did your father have a lot of experience with all these animals?
Well, when he was young, he used to work at a farm upstate in his city.
Number 1, can you tell me which vegetables grow inside the ground, underneath the ground?
Carrots and lettuce.
Thank you.
Thomas.
Thank you, Bud. Number 2, where's your family from?
Bronx.
And how did your daddy happen to know about farms and things? Number 2.
I don't know.
I see. Thank you. Number 3, what do you do for the lamb?
Well, I feed it a bottle of formula.
What's in that formula, please?
Canned milk and water.
Number 2, what do you do for your baby lamb?
We feed it milk.
Who's we?
We will have to remain undefined at the moment while we mark ballots. So shall we mark our ballots, if you will, please? Mark them at once, without change, and, of course, as usual, no consultation. As you vote now for number 1, number 2, or number 3. Our team of challengers will, of course, receive the customary $250 for every incorrect vote. All votes marked?
No, I'm not marked yet, but
You haven't marked yet. All right, everybody else has.
don't know.
So we'll wait for you, Tom, if you will.
Oh,
Okay, what is your vote, Tom?
why, I voted for number 2. Look at her. She's cute as a bug's ear. Where else would you find a bug's ear but on a farm?
Oh,
Well,
Peggy.
I don't know.
Well, I voted for number 2 because, well, she's so healthy and bursting with health that she looks as though she grew up on a farm. So I voted for her.
Orson.
Open to you.
Well, I voted for number 3 because she looks like a farm girl to me, although she's a city girl, so I don't know where the logic is.
Kitty.
Well, I voted for number 3 on the basis of the question about what grows in the ground. I think number 2 misunderstood me. I meant inside the ground, and I don't think lettuce grows underneath the ground. I think it grows on top. So I voted for number 3.
You think it grows on.
I'm not a farm girl either.
All right, there we have it. Anyway, the votes are all in. These minds are made up, and I hope yours are, too, at home. Let's find out right now which one of these charming young ladies actually is the New York City farmer's daughter. So will the real Rosemary Coder please stand up? Now, let's find out about your 2 co-farmerettes here. Number 1, what is your real name, and what do you really do?
My name is Ann Tompkins, and I'm a 6th grade student in the Dalton School in New York City.
Good girl. And number 2, you got half of the votes. What is your real name, and what do you do?
My name is Vivica Tedesco, and I'm a 3rd grade student at Blessed Sacrament, and my father, Lou Tedesco, is directing this program right now.
Well, you want to be careful on your way out because your old man may be hitting you for a loan on the way home. You got 2 incorrect votes at $250 each, and so coming your way from Salem Cigarettes, ladies, $500. And you could do an awful lot with that, and I hope it brings you all great joy as you did to us. Thanks for being with us. Good night, and God bless you. Right about here, you're scheduled for a refreshing journey into springtime. All right, there we have it with the next team of challenges, and here they are.
What is your name, please?
My name is Charlotte Bingham. My name is Charlotte Bingham. My name is Charlotte Bingham.
Panel, may I ask you to follow along with your copies of this next affidavit about Charlotte Bingham. I, Charlotte Bingham, am a writer by choice and a member of the Irish peerage by chance. As the daughter of Lord and Lady Clanmorris, I can trace my family history back almost 7 centuries. I can trace my literary history back just 3 months. My first book has been on the bestseller lists in England every week since publication. It deals with my life as a schoolgirl, debutante, secretary, and beatnik. The main topic is men. I place men in 4 categories, ranging from supermen to weeds. Supermen are very hard to find. The title of my book is Coronet Among the Weeds. Signed, Charlotte Bingham. Panel, these 3 ladies all claim to be Charlotte Bingham, new author of a book called Coronet Among the Weeds. Fascinating title. We'll start this time with the cross-examination going from the star of Broadway's hit show Mary Mary, Tom Poston.
Oh, thank you, Bob. Use something from that. Number 3, where's the Mulhare family located in Ireland? Do you know?
No, I don't.
Mulhare. Do you know number 2?
I've got no idea, no.
Number 1, Mulhare.
No idea.
Did you ever hear of it, Mulhare?
Vaguely.
Don't tell me that Edward Mulhare, that fake, is not really Irish. he's in Mary Mary, that's why I say it. Number 2, what color tie do I have on? Can you see that?
Yes.
What color is that?
Orange.
And where would that be from in Ireland?
I don't know.
She's just banished a whole half of that country. Now, I'm not an orangeman, but number 3, where is orange the color?
Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland, thank you. Tell me, number 3, is a coronet better than a Superman?
Depends on the Superman.
Number 1, would you clarify that?
Yes. Excuse me. Thank you. Number 2, who is the Countess of Ross?
Anthony Armstrong Jones's mother.
Thank you. Number 1, what is DeBusschere?
It's a book in England that lists all the nobility.
Thank you. Number 3, what happens on the 4th of June at Eton?
Oh, it's Sports Day, 4th of June.
Thank you. Number 2, who wrote the Passion Flower Hotel?
I've forgotten.
Thank you. Number 1, where did you go to school?
Beresford House.
Thank you. Number 3, where's Rodine?
Oh, Brighton.
Thank you. Number 2, what's the opposite of Eton? What's the other school?
Harrow.
Oh, thank you. Number 1, what was the maiden name of the Duchess of Devonshire?
Don't know.
Number 3?
Deborah.
No, her last name.
Orson. No, that's not her last name. Orson.
These girls are extraordinary. Number 3, would I classify as a weed?
Yes.
No, you wouldn't, sir.
Oh, as a Superman?
No.
No, in the middle. I don't want to find out. Number 2, what is the Greenwich Village section comparable in London?
Chelsea.
You're right. Number 1, in your days as a beatnik, what would you have called your apartment?
Oh,
Do
we
you have a
just called
special...
it digs.
What?
Digs.
Digs. Number 2, do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
Yes. Number 3, do you know anything about St. Patrick?
Yes, I do, actually. He wasn't an Irishman.
What did he come to Ireland as?
I've forgotten.
He used to paint himself blue, right?
Hey, you'll get.
Kitty. Kitty.
Number 1, are girls presented at court anymore with white feathers?
they're not presented at court, but they are presented at Queen Charlotte's ball.
Number 2, where does this take place?
What, Queen
The
Charlotte?
ball.
Queen Charlotte's Ball, one of the big hotels in London.
Number 3, who is your publisher?
In America?
In America.
Random House.
Number 1, who is the head of Random House?
Bennett Cerf.
Number 2, where is Random House here?
Madison Avenue.
Can you give me the street? Have you been there?
Yes, I have. I'll think of it in a minute. 51st.
Thank you. Number 3, what is that long place that you go to up to Buckingham Palace? Have you been to Buckingham Palace?
Yes, no, I haven't been,
You've never,
presented.
oh, I see. You've never been there personally.
No.
But you would know the name of the long alley going up to it.
Yes, I would. It's the Mall.
Thank you very much. Number 1, can you give me the name of another girls' school except the one you went to, a famous one, starting with an H?
Heathfield.
Thank you.
Wow.
I'm telling you, this has been a round, hasn't it? Well, it's
Girls
time.
all turn out to be from the Bronx. I'm leaving the show.
Well, mark your ballots before you leave, please.
I'll mark the ballot.
All right. Mark them immediately and without change, and of course, no consultation as you mark them for number 1, number 2, or number 3. Everybody voted?
What are we in game 2?
Oh, set. All right, Tom, for whom did you vote this time?
Well, I voted for number 1. I don't know. She looks like a lady, an authoress, and a beatnik. Is that possible? I voted for number 1. They're all great, though.
Peggy.
I voted for number 3 because she knew about Rodine, which is a very good girls' school, and also the 4th of June, which is a big day at Eton.
Orson?
They're all breathtaking. I'm staggered by all of them. I voted for number 3, and I just, just picked her out of the hat, that's all.
Kitty.
I voted for number 3 because I think this is a very funny book. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I thought number 3 was terribly funny.
All right, there we have it. 3 for 3 and 1 for 1. Let's see how this splitting up works up as we check now and see which one of these charming young ladies actually is the authoress of Coronet Among the Weeds. So will the real Charlotte Bingham please stand up? Thank you very much. Incidentally, Charlotte Bingham's book was published here in the United States on April 18th, and we certainly wish you well with it. Just for the fun of it, you mentioned 4 classifications of men. What are the 4? We know of 2.
Well, the ones fairly generally known are lechers, weeds, drips, and beatniks. That's it.
Am I a letch or a drip?
Well, you're not a weed because you've got a chin, you see.
Why am I not a Superman?
What is a weed?
A weed, generally somebody without a chin and usually with wet hands, and sometimes rather small. So, yeah.
No chin and wet hands?
Yeah.
Well, let's find out about the other two. Number one, you got a vote. What is your real name and what do you do?
My name is Juliet Gerlin, and I'm a housewife and mother in New York City.
And number two, what is your real name and what do you do?
My name is Elfrida Eden, and I work for a subsidiary of Standard Oil of California.
May I say, just for the record, I've worked with an awful lot in the 7 years or so that this show has been on the air. I think you three were probably three of the best briefs, best alert, on your toes we've ever had, and I congratulate you. You really were. I'm sorry that it's only one incorrect, but that's $250. Knowing what bargain hunters ladies are, you'll do well with it, I'm sure. That, of course, comes to you from Salem Cigarettes as well as a gift carton of Salem's on your way out. Thank you so much for being with us. Good night, and God bless you. Now it's time for you to take a refresher course in springtime freshness. It only takes a minute. I present our third team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Dave DeBusschere. My name is Dave DeBusschere. My name is Dave DeBusschere.
Will you follow along, panel, with your copies of this affidavit? I, Dave DeBusschere, was a college All-American in both baseball and basketball. Fortunately, I have been able to continue with both sports professionally. In basketball, I play for the Detroit Pistons and was selected as a member of the NBA All-Rookie Team for 1963. In baseball, I am a pitcher with the Chicago White Sox with a current earned run average of 2.00. Signed, Dave DeBusschere. Here we have three young men all claiming to be Dave DeBusschere, baseball and basketball player. And we'll start this round with our own sports fan and baseball and basketball buff, Kitty Carlisle. Kitty?
And Gardner.
Gardner.
Well, I have never seen a baseball or a basketball game, so I'm going to ask some fascinating questions.
Does lettuce grow above ground?
What does 2.00 mean, number two?
2.00 is the earned run average, which is...
The what?
Earned run average, which is computed on the number of earned runs a pitcher gives up in a game.
Uh-huh. Got him there. Number one, would you spell your name quickly for me, just the last part?
D-E-B-U-S-S-C-H-E-R-E.
Right. Marvelous.
Ah, saved by the bell, Kitty.
Well, I don't know why we have to ask any more questions. It's obvious which one it is.
Just from Kitty's question.
Just from nailing. Number three, there's a man who's just been asked if he will be the head of the NBA next year. Do you happen to know his name?
I haven't heard yet.
Number two, do you happen to know?
I believe it's the mayor of Stanford Kennedy.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Number one, thank you. Number one, there is another big league basketball and baseball player currently active in the big leagues. Do you know his name?
Gene Conley.
Thank you. Number three, where does he play?
He's with the Celtics and the Red Sox.
Thank you.
Peggy.
Thank you. Who is the man that just sentenced those two, number three, sentenced those two football players to not be able to play?
Wasn't that the commissioner of football, Pete Rossetti?
Thank you. Number two, somebody that's on the Celtics is retiring this year. Who's that?
Bob Cousy.
Thank you. Number one, what field do you play in for the White Sox?
I'm a pitcher.
No, I mean, what's the name of the stadium?
Comiskey Park.
Thank you. Number three, is that on the north or south side?
That's on the south side.
Thank you. Number 2, do you play both of them, in the one in the winter and one in the summer?
Well, they can overlap, and they do slightly, but normally they wouldn't overlap. Basketball would be fall and winter, and baseball spring and summer.
Thank you. Number 1...
Orson.
Number 2, who on the Yankees just last week was traded to Washington?
Jim Coates was.
And did you happen to read... Well, that wouldn't make any difference. Number 3, who's the manager of the White Sox?
The manager of the White Sox is Al Lopez.
Number 1, what team is Wilt still play basketball with?
San Francisco Warriors.
Number 2, do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
Number 3, do you happen to know who the shortest member of the Harlem Globetrotters is?
No, I don't.
Do you happen to know who the tallest is?
No, I don't.
Number 1, do you know where the Detroit AC is? The Detroit Athletic Club?
Yes, I do.
Oh, all right. Number 2, do you?
I believe it's near Cobo Hall, but I'm not sure.
Number 3, do you know where it is?
I agree with second.
The second one, huh?
And that's all the time we have. So, mark down your own earned run average on your ballots and figure out who it is, 1, 2, or 3.
Oh, no.
As you vote right now without consultation for number 1, number 2, or number 3. All right, there we go. Tom, for whom did you vote this time?
I thought it was awfully hard to tell. Again, I think that Willie Stein is doing a wonderful job. Oh, no, he's not with us anymore.
That's what you call overlapping.
No, Bruno Zerato. I voted for number 1. Forgive me, Bruno. I was just kidding. I voted for number 1. Well, I think that a guy that plays big league ball now has to be a man with a good education, has to have a lot of poise. And I thought, although they all displayed this, I like the way number 1 answered the question.
Peggy.
Well, I voted for number 3. And you know why? Because he was so polite. I don't know.
Orson, what was your choice?
I voted for number 3, and I had a misgiving at the end when he said, well, I agree with the other one, number 2 there. It seems like if it was him, he wouldn't call the other guy number 2. He probably would, though. I voted for him.
I don't know. Kitty.
Well, in view of my encyclopedic knowledge, I voted for number 1. I don't watch those games, but I do read the papers, and I don't think it's Rossetti. I think it's Roselli.
Roselle.
It is, it's Roselle.
Well, he said Rossetti.
It's Roselle.
Number 3 said Rossetti.
He said Rossetti.
All right, let's clear it up once and for all and find out now. Dude, just which one is the right one, whether or not the astuteness of our sports buff over here, Kitty, has zeroed through or not on the truth, as we learn which of them actually is the young man who works both baseball and basketball as a player. So will the real Dave DeBusschere please stand up?
Oh, my God.
Thank you very much. It's hard to believe that Kitty actually has never seen a basketball game or a baseball game. Never.
I live in a tree.
Well, you got a good view from there, I'll tell you. All right, let's find out about the other 2. Now, number 2, what is your real name and what do you really do?
My name is Bob Goldschall, and I sell radio time for Metro Media in New York.
Number 3, you got half of the votes. What is your real name, sir, and what do you do?
My name's Brian Clark, and I'm a graduate student in biochemistry, and I have never attended either a pro basketball or a pro baseball game.
Well, fellas, you can figure out, I'm sure, as well as I can. There were 2 incorrect votes, and at $250 each, that from Salem Cigarettes is a total of $500. And I hope you had even more fun than that seems to spell out. Also on the way out, a gift package of a carton of Salem's for you. Thanks so much for being with us. Good night, and God bless you. All of us have a stake in keeping the educational standards of the United States of America and our colleges as high as possible. So help keep the flow of knowledge coming. Give to the college of your choice now. That's all the time we have. I'm sorry, Pamela, because it was a great evening. Thank you for it. Good night. And bless you. Good night to all of you, too. And may I urge you to join us next week at the same time. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon on the daytime show. And in the meantime, Bud Collier saying good night for Salem Cigarettes and reminding you to tell the truth. Good night.
To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson, Bill Potman production. To Tell the Truth has been brought to you tonight by Salem, the cigarette that refreshes your taste. Johnny Olson speaking for To Tell the Truth. The preceding program was pre-recorded.